Why write a cookbook in the first place? Well, this one, my one, An Irish Adventure of Food, really happened organically. It happened naturally because there was a series of articles already written, and it was really a matter of cobbling them together. I mean, the second book that I have is a different story. I had to sit down and write it specifically, and then the third one that I am in the process of writing, it still has to be formulated properly in my head. But I mean, it's a very good question, because I mean, there's a lot of if you see really famous chefs now writing, a lot of them dumb down in terms of, you know, you have to appeal to the housewife, you have to appeal to people that will take a recipe and cook it, not just, you know, look at the picture and be intimidated by the recipe. So it's a very, because you sell more books like that, which is a very pertinent question, you know, for the publisher, for you, if you're going to put the time and effort into a book, you do want it to sell, you want it to reach the biggest audience possible. But, you know, at the same time, you know, there is this thing, if you have a great restaurant, and I'm not talking about mine, like a really great chef that I really admire, rang me recently, and just what do you think, what would you do? Because he wants to have a book that, he's in the process of writing a book, but he wants to have a book that represents the restaurant and what he does, but equally he wants to be appealing. So I think you can possibly cross those two barriers. I mean, but the people, in terms of who I like, I generally like to read people as opposed to read recipes. I mean, I have a series of, years ago I used to buy these really huge fantastic tomes that cost an awful lot of money, that the photography was like, you know, incredible, and there was no reading involved, just really methodical recipes. But you know, there's just something that, like coffee table books, I like to sit down and or go to bed with a book and have a bit of a giggle if I can, or really get an insight into people. Nigel Slater is my all-time favourite. He's just, the man is a genius, and I don't know how the hell he does what he does, but just, you know, he's got this vegetable book out now that's that thick, and apparently he's bringing out a fruit book that's that thick, and with all the other books that he has, and it's just, the prose in there is just amazing, and the quantity of it, it's just a really uniquely gifted person. I suppose my favourite book of all time is a book called by Simon Hopkinson, Roast Chicken and Other Stories, which was voted, I think, one of the top people's favourite going back a few years ago, and really gave it a new life. And you know, something that kind of not upsets me a little bit, but disappoints me, I suppose, is that young chefs sometimes look at the El Bullies and at the Fat Ducks and at the really sort of the really molecular gastronomy side of things, and they don't tend to admire the people with, you know, the St. John and these people cooking really simple dishes out of really simple ingredients. It has to be all about water baths and gas guns and molecular and all this stuff that I don't understand. As I said, I had a you know, my leaving cert wasn't the best, but good cooking is good cooking. That kind of cooking will stand the test of time, and it's also good simple cooking like Simon Hopkinson does and Nigel Slater does, will reach way more people because it's doable, and they're the books that I like to have at home, and I will actually pick up way more often than a really chefy book.